Hi, 7th grade. This is Mrs. C. Today we're going to be using the SITE strategy in order to see what we can learn from looking at a picture. This strategy is going to help us become better picture detectives. Using this strategy, you're going to be able to build an understanding of a topic by analyzing images. The information that you gather from these pictures, you'll then be able to use in order to engage in discussions with your peers. So what is the SITE strategy? The SITE strategy is a way of analyzing a visual resource, more specifically, looking at a picture. In order to use the SITE strategy appropriately, we want to do three things. We want to look at all the details. We want to use the acronym to identify the most important details. And then, using all the information we've gathered, we want to share our ideas with our peers through discussion. So what is an acronym? An acronym is a set of letters that together form a word. This word helps us remember what each letter stands for. So scan, identify, guess, hear, and talk. The first letter of each one of those words spells out SITE. And SITE is what we do in order to become better picture detectives. So first, we want to be able to scan the picture for important details. Then, after we scan, we want to be able to identify the problem or situation in the picture. Third, we want to guess what the message of the picture is, or why was the picture created? Why was the picture taken? Then we want to hear what the voices in the picture would say. If there are people in the image, what do you think they're saying, depending on the situation that's in the image? We want to be able to give those people voices in order to kind of help us put ourselves in that situation. And then, using all the data that we've gathered, we want to be able to talk or write about your observations of the picture. Your teacher might provide you with a handout that looks like this. It's important to know that no matter what the handout, the SITE strategy, is the same. The only thing that changes is the format. So let's test out the SITE strategy together using the image that you see here. In the middle, we're going to look at all the details in this picture, not just where my eyes are drawn to. When I look at this picture, my eyes immediately go towards the man that's on the floor here. But I want to be able to look at that, plus everything else around the center of it. And the first thing we're going to do is scan for some important details that we see in this image. So in this picture, I see a man on the floor, a man standing, a basketball, and the man is holding his foot. Next, we want to identify what the problem or the situation is. So what problem do you see? I think the problem is the man on the floor fell and hurt himself. Then we want to be able to think about why this image was made, or why was it taken? What do we think the message is? So looking at this picture, I think the reason for this image might be to let fans of the team know that the player has been injured. Maybe they lost the game and this was the reason why. Next, we want to hear the voices. What do you think the people in this image are saying? We want to give the people in pictures a voice because this helps us understand what was happening in the situation. So I think the people in this image are saying, ouch, is he okay? Call an ambulance. Or my leg. Then, taking everything that we have annotated here, we want to be able to write about our observations before we talk about it with our peers. So what do you think is happening in this image? Explain. Based on my observations, I think that the basketball player fell and hurt his leg. This probably made the team lose the game and everyone is upset. This is just my initial feeling about what I'm seeing in the picture based on all the data that I've gathered. I don't know for sure if that's what's happening, but we can take an educated guess. And the best part is that during step 5, our teacher is going to ask us to share out with our partners or with our peers, and we'll be able to see all the different perspectives that the rest of the class has. So, in order to use the SITE strategy, we want to look at all the details: colors, shapes, lines, value, amount, people. Then we want to scan, identify, guess, hear, and talk. And finally, using all the data that we've gathered, we want to be able to discuss our ideas with our peers. Your teacher will provide you with this image for days 5 to 6 in Unit 3, Founding Perspectives on Slavery. You'll be able to use the SITE strategy to observe the details in this image and to come to a conclusion about what is happening in this image or why was this image created based on the details that you've gathered. You might receive something that looks like this or a handout that looks like this. But the most important idea is that no matter what the handout looks like, the SITE strategy remains the same. You're still doing the same exact thing no matter what the format is.